What if I told you that the only reason you keep getting emotionally crushed, manipulated, and overlooked is because you haven't been ruthless enough? Not cruel, not toxic, just mentally ruthless, the kind of mindset that makes you unshakable when everyone else is breaking down. Today, you'll learn 8 ruthless psychological lessons that rewire your brain for mental power. Lessons that helped Machiavelli advise rulers, outsmart enemies, and dominate without raising his voice. Here's what most people don't understand. Strength isn't loud, it's silent. And those who master their inner world end up owning the outer one. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." This is the mindset we're building today. But let's be clear, this knowledge isn't for destruction, it's for protection. To make sure no one can break you, manipulate you, or control your mind ever again. Because from this moment on, your weakness is over. Lesson 1. People don't see your intentions, only your image. So control what they see. You could have the purest heart in the world, but if you appear weak, hesitant, or overly emotional, you will be treated like a pawn. In a world run by perception, the way you're seen is more powerful than the way you truly are. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." That one sentence is a brutal truth. If you don't shape your image intentionally, society will shape it for you and not in your favor. People will define you based on rumors, weakness, or past mistakes, unless you make them see what you want them to see. To be mentally unstoppable, your first step is this: design the mask before they assign it. Project calm strength. Stay unreadable. Let your actions whisper power. Because when your emotions leak through your face, your enemies know exactly where to attack. This isn't about faking who you are. It's about choosing what parts of you deserve protection. Your emotions are real, but not everyone deserves access to them. We don't hide because we're afraid. We hide because we're building something that can't be broken. And that's exactly why emotional invisibility is one of your greatest weapons. The less they know about your inner world, the harder it is to break you. Now here's a dangerous truth. People don't attack who you are. They attack what they think you are. If you appear predictable, soft, or emotionally exposed, you become easy to manipulate. But if you master the art of emotional silence, if you respond with awareness instead of reaction, then you become unpredictable. And unpredictable minds are feared. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote, "It is not essential then that a prince should have all the good qualities, but it is essential that he should appear to have them. Appearances are armor. Use them." And if you're the type of person who wants to master this psychological power, who doesn't just want motivation, but wants control, then you're exactly who this channel is for. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, because the next videos will take you even deeper into the strategies most people are too afraid to talk about. But for now, let's keep going, because the second lesson is even more dangerous than the first. The second lesson is this: never show them the pain, because the moment they see it, they own it. Pain is leverage, and the world is filled with people trained to exploit yours. When you reveal emotional wounds, you give others a map to control you. That's not paranoia, that's strategy. Machiavelli warned, "He who becomes master of a city accustomed to freedom and does not destroy it will himself be destroyed." Replace city with weakness, and you understand your mind. Your vulnerability isn't sacred, it's currency. And when it's in the wrong hands, it buys your silence, your obedience, and your downfall. That's why the emotionally unstoppable don't just hide weakness. They rewire it. They use it. They bend it into power. Feeling fear? Good. Fear sharpens. Feeling anger? Better. Anger drives. Every emotion has a dark side and a strategic edge if you control it before it controls you. The ones who thrive are those who convert their emotions into calculation. You don't run from fear, you analyze it. You don't suppress pain, you study it. And that's the brutal difference between average minds and Machiavellian minds. But here's where it gets surgical. Lesson 3. Control perception before reality. Because in power, it's not what's real that matters. It's what people believe is real. You could be losing, but if you look like you're winning, the world follows you. You could be furious inside, but if your face says calm, people fear your control. Machiavelli knew this when he wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." That's not a warning, it's a weapon. Mentally unstoppable people don't just manage their emotions, they manage their image. They shape it, sharpen it, and weaponize it. Because in the game of power, your silence is louder than your words. Your restraint is more terrifying than your rage. You don't owe the world your truth. You owe yourself your advantage. That's why you never explain. You never justify. You never leak your next move. Emotionally chaotic people fight battles out loud. Mentally ruthless people win them in silence. And if you're still watching, it means your mind's already waking up. Once you control perception, the next ruthless lesson becomes clear. Never reveal your full capacity. People respect what they can't fully understand, and fear what they can't predict. Machiavelli wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, if you have to choose." But the truly powerful don't make you choose, they stay unreadable, untouched, and always underestimated. Because when no one can measure your depth, they never know how to strike you. The mentally unstoppable don't speak in excess. They let silence build tension. They let mystery provoke respect. Think of every moment of weakness you've shown publicly, every rant, every overshare, every emotional confession. Now ask yourself, who did that empower? Certainly not you. The more people know about your boundaries, your limits, your pain, the more control they hold. But when you're calm, when you don't flinch, when you say less, you create an aura they can't penetrate. In that stillness lies psychological dominance. You're not just unaffected, you become untouchable. And remember, if they can't read you, they can't control you. And once you've mastered mystery, the next ruthless upgrade is to use emotion, but never be used by it. This is where most people lose. They think strength is loud. They think power means domination. But the ones who are mentally unstoppable are masters of restraint. Machiavelli warned, "He who lets himself be ruled by emotion exposes himself to ruin." You're not here to react. You're here to engineer reactions in others. And that begins by holding your center in the chaos, letting your silence unsettle, your stillness speak louder than anger ever could. Understand this. The world is filled with emotional time bombs, people baiting you, testing you, trying to drag you into their chaos. The unstoppable don't take the bait. They pause. They calculate. They see emotion as a tool, not a reflex. Someone insults you? That's not a challenge, it's data. Someone disrespects you? That's not war, it's an opportunity to assess weakness. Because when you stop reacting, you start controlling. Every move becomes intentional. Every word, a weapon. Every silence, a strategy. And it's in that discipline that your real dominance begins to emerge, not from the noise you make, but from the power you withhold. And that's where the final evolution happens, when your silence becomes more terrifying than their shouting, when your calm exposes their chaos, when you don't just survive pressure, you weaponize it. Because being mentally unstoppable isn't about never feeling fear. It's about training your mind to move through fear like smoke. Machiavelli wrote, A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must inevitably come to grief among so many who are not good. That's why the powerful don't try to please. They don't explain themselves. They observe, they adapt, and when the time is right, they strike without warning, without mercy. This mindset rewires your life. You stop giving energy to things that don't serve you. You stop needing validation. You stop apologizing for thinking like a strategist in a world built on weakness. You become a quiet storm, invisible, untouchable, unforgettable. Now, if this lesson cracked open something inside you, if you felt it, make sure to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. Because the next video is going to take this power even further. We're going to dismantle emotional triggers and rebuild your mental defense system from the inside out. But before you go, let me leave you with this. If someone tried to break your mind, which part of you would survive and why?